Let's use ChatGPT to create a table of evidence. I've got a couple of articles. Theme is undergraduate nursing research, and these are ones where I've managed to download a PDF. First one is sources of stress and coping. It's got some qualitative work in it. Second one is effectiveness of an educational program. I've downloaded both of these PDFs, and so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start with one. Let's upload one of these PDFs. So we'll do the one on sources of stress. A note, you will need to upload the files first in the chat. Once you've started a chat, it won't let you add the files. Secondly, if you're using the free version, you can only have a couple of chats with files uploaded, and then you need to wait 24 hours for you to be able to upload and do a chat again. So let's just give it some simple instructions. Create a table of evidence entry from this article, and we'll see what it does. And so it's got the citation, the author's the journal, the purpose, the design. So this is just a nice quick way of summarizing it. Of course, this isn't exactly what we want. So we can ask it to create a table with each heading in a column, and whenever ChatGPT gives us something we don't quite want, we can ask it to fix it. So this gives us a format we're used to seeing in a table, and we could go onwards from here. So we said conclusions, findings, strengths, limitations, sample. Obviously it's making up its own template. So in the next step we'll look at, well, how do we make it fit the School of Nursing template? But also often we might want more than one article, and maybe we want to try and do this all in one go. So I'm going to show you how to do it with multiple articles. So let's start a new chat, because again, to upload new articles or any new article, I need to begin again. So here I'm going to upload, instead of just one, I'm going to grab both of the ones which I've downloaded, and you'll see these get attached here, and now I can give instructions and it'll read both of these. Again, let's start simple. Create a table of evidence with one entry from each of these two papers. And it goes away reading the documents, paper evidence, paper evidence. So it's a nice summary, but it's not what we're looking for. So let's create separate columns for design, sample, measures, results, interpretations, and limitations, and see what it does. Okay, so it goes, all right, it's got the different headings. So this looks pretty good. Paper, it's got the citation, design, sample, and you can see immediately this is actually quite easy to read. Now we had to just give it the instructions for what we wanted. But let's say we've been given a template that we have to follow. So what I've done with the template here is taken the text. We really need text, so we can't use it in an actual table. And we've got first column, second column, third column, fourth column. Now, if we had a PDF of this, we could probably have uploaded it, but I've just written it in text. And I've added information like first column, second column to help guide what it should be doing. So let's copy this here. So this is the template. And ask ChatGPT reformat with template, colon, and let's just paste that whole template in and see what it does. Okay, so it's redoing it, and so this is looking pretty good. So we've got the headings that we had in the template. So this was citation, methods, results, interpretation, and from here we this might be what we want in the format. Let's have a bit of fun with this. So let's say we wanted to add a column and look at a critique of this. And so I've given the instruction, add a column with critique of interpretation and offer alternative conclusions. I'll give it a little bit more space now. And so now it's added this column, and you see it's starting to slow down. This is because it's there's more processing involved. So here it's finds some assumptions that may be false, and it suggests some alternative interpretation for each column, for each article. Let's say you want to think about what's the next step. So we can add a suggested next step column based on the study, suggest a helpful next step in terms of addressing the problem presented in the introduction. So again, now you actually start noticing the processing speed. That's a more complex argument, and it's got quite a bit of interaction in the chat, but you see it's added this column. So it's repeating the other ones, and then it's suggesting what the next step is. So for this study on the training, it's look across multiple sites. And for the stress one, it's suggesting look at mental health support. So hopefully this gives you an idea both of how to create a draft table of evidence and how you can use ChatGPT to help your thinking. Key point, you can't trust what it says. Like, this may be right, it may be wrong, but it's a starting point. So, you know, what you can see here, for example, EBP knowledge and skills improves significant intervention group, and it has the mean, the standard deviation, which is what we asked for, but it doesn't actually say what the measure is. So this is no good by itself. However, you can go in and, starting with this, you can look for, okay, what is the measure here? And you can see what ChatGPT pulled out, 54% improvement in intervention group versus 45% in control. And if that's the case, that's not a huge improvement, for example. But you can go and check if this is true. So how to view these results is as a someone who gives you a suggestion, but they're not an expert in the area. So you want to take their suggestion merely as a suggestion, and from there review, critique it. Still, this is a fantastic way to get started synthesizing an article, creating a table of evidence. Last part, how do we get out of here? So if we click the copy, so this will usually copy the latest component. So if we go and go into a Google Doc, we can paste that here, and I'll expand this, and you can see this is put it in a table format. And then just a little tip here, let's say you want to see lines. This is kind of a little bit hard to see. So if we go format, table properties, and when we go down to color, we can got table border, and it's black, but it's 0 size, so just make it 1, then that makes it a little bit easier to read. Then you could do the same in a Microsoft Word if that's what you use. So there we go. Great way to use this tool, and probably many other tools, to get started with your table of evidence.